So as part of our tech inspection on the transmission, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the clutch too. It's a little bit different design than a lot of the Hondas I've seen. It's a lot thicker, kind of closer to the S2000 as a matter of fact. Let's take it apart. Saw the bolts on the pressure plate. Whoa. Okay, well, looking at the pressure plate, there doesn't look like there's anything exotic going on other than it's awfully damn thick. Just looks like a beefier version of a Honda pressure plate. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to measure it. I tried holding up, but these kind of prevent me from getting a good good look. But I'll tell you something I noticed when I was trying to do that. The teeth on this flywheel are helical. I don't know, that's the first time I've seen that on a Honda flywheel.
They are.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that helps it kick the starter off a little more effectively, or if maybe that's just longer wearing or better engagement. A helical gear is physically longer because it's on an angle as opposed to straight, so it is a little bit stronger. So I'm guessing that it may be a strength thing or maybe even a quiet thing. But that was something I wasn't expecting.
So what you're saying, it's on like the angle here. It's not straight cut like a standard flywheel is.
The overall length is just a touch under 13 inches. Take a look at this one. Wow, it is bigger. So whoever told me it was smaller was incorrect. I am going to actually take a look at, make sure this is actually a K-Series flywheel. I suppose it could be a B-Series one. I've got piles of flywheels out there. I'm going to go on a quick scavenger hunt and see if I can come up with another flywheel just to kind of double check, make sure that that is in fact a K-Series flywheel. So this flywheel, I thought it was my K-Series out of my original Land Speed motor. It is a K-Series flywheel. It is physically smaller than this one for the turbo motor. So that's going to make it a little more interesting to make a adapter plate for it. I don't think that the size difference is so great that it's going to make it impossible, but it's just one more small obstacle that we need to overcome in design. So Rob should the transmission is gone right now because Rob has been CMMing it. We have a ferro arm set up on a desk up front. He can use that to measure where all the bolt hole locations are for the engine mount. I need those in order to design a new bracket mount for the particular car. Also at the same time, I went ahead and had him CMM the bell housing side of the transmission as well, so we could work a little bit on an adapter plate to go between this engine and the older K-Series transmission, possibly the newer transmission, the older engine, and also we'll go ahead and take a look at the S2000 transmission as well. Got enough work to do, so I'm going to grab those drawings and start making a new bracket. Yeah, from the ferro arm we came up with some construction on how this setup should work. We made our first part. The bracket looks like this. It's basically we've incorporated a lifting position for it because a lot of the guys that are going to be using our mounts are actually race car drivers. So. But then a mount bolts to this, and then there'll be another bracket that goes on the frame rail, depending on what car this is going into. On the EG, we'll probably change this bracket slightly so it connects directly up to whatever EG mount is on there. But for EK, for the Fit, for Insight, and I don't mean I mean second gen Insight, CRZ, cars like that, this bracket's probably going to remain pretty much the same as it is. Right now we did the first testing of it, and it was a little bit off. I don't know if it was a problem with some of the offsets on our, when we were seam mounting it. Sometimes the offsets get flipped depending on what's going on. So we're making a new version of it real quick, going to bend it up, and if it all works, we're going to slap it on the transmission, put the transmission back on the engine, and start trying it in some cars today. Alright guys, we got the engine out of the car, obviously. Did that a couple days ago. We just got done designing our new transition side mount. It's a bracket and a mount. I like using this flip mount that Hasport makes, because what's going to happen is, because I can change the height of it, if I can make a shorter bracket by flipping the motor mount over, that's going to be a good thing. If I need to mount the engine a little bit deeper in the car, I can use this. This bracket may change for EG and EF, but for now, for trying on cars, this should do nicely. Over here, this is going to be the stock replacement mount for this. There's going to be a bracket that goes along with it to go inside of the FC chassis, but that's what the mount looks like. You have to pardon the noise. There's actually a machine running in the background, although it's between, it sounds like it's engraving right now. We're actually putting these into production right now. We still haven't come up with the bracket yet, but as soon as we have that, we'll have it up on the website and ready for sale. But these are also the mounts we're going to be using for doing the swaps, so time to try a few chassis.